You know John from this show. He hosts mornings at 680 The Fan in Atlanta, nationally on ESPN Radio. He is the biggest Canes fan on the planet. Before we talk the Texas A&M game Saturday, how do you feel about a New Year's Eve matchup with our old nemesis, Ohio State?
Well, Jeremiah Smith, I saw him talking today, and he says, it's all over the internet. Jeremiah, I understand you weren't alive back then, but I am sure there are people in your family as you grew up in South Florida that understand what this game means. And I've already had to give a warning because I will be at my in-laws' house. We're leaving right after Christmas to go down to New Orleans. Now, luckily, my brother-in-law is a gigantic football fan. So I said, New Year's Eve goes one of two ways. Either Uncle John, which is what they call me now that I'm old, either Uncle John is really happy and really drunk and just running around the house in a good mood, or Uncle John is really drunk and probably goes out back and punches through a fence. So understand what you guys are getting into on New Year's Eve. They asked, did I want to go out? I said, absolutely not. I don't want to go out, but I can't wait. Everybody, you're afraid of Ohio State. Ooh, I'm not afraid of Ohio State. This ain't last year's Buckeye team, and now I see Ryan Day is going to take over play calling. You're giving Corey Heatherman, that maniac, 11 days to get ready for you. Ohio State, don't sing it, bring it. We owe your asses.
And I got to say, I was wrong. I admitted it, John. And I'm throwing it up to you now. I'm going to jump on the bandwagon if y'all let me or not, because that was an impressive win over Texas A&M in College Station. I was saying it has to be high scoring. You got to run with them and all. And we were talking about it earlier. Drugged them down into the mud and said, you're going to play the game. It's honestly, when that game went on the second half, that's what Mario wants to do. They came down to Mario's alley and wanted to fight Mario in his own fight. Is that what we, I'm a we guy now, John. Is that what we should do moving forward, is to play there? Because like we saw, that the trenches is where this team is built. The trenches is what Mario preaches, and the trenches is what won that game.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I think it was told, and they'll never confirm this or deny it one way or the other. I think it was told to Carson Beck, don't make mistakes. And you could see the game plan that Shannon Dawson had a lot of times was don't make mistakes. Now, was I mad? Absolutely. There were times during that game I'm going, why are we running double reverse pass on first down at the 20-yard line? Like, what are we doing? Trust Mark Fletcher, trust Gerard Pringle, get it to Malachi Toney, do something. I thought they got cute a couple of times, but it was conservative cute. It was, all right, if the play's not there, just tuck it and run, and we'll take our 3 yards and live to fight another day. And quite frankly, if Malachi Toney doesn't get tripped by a shoelace, he houses that punt return for a touchdown. If there's not gale force winds, Carter Davis probably makes 3 of those 4 field goals, and Miami wins by a couple of touchdowns. That is the 100% the blueprint. Like, if you go back to Mario's introductory press conference, and he talked about building this the right way, and it was going to take time. He saw the vision. His first real recruiting class was Francis Malinois and Ruben Bain. Think those two guys didn't have a bit of importance on Saturday afternoon? Cassius Howell was nowhere to be found as Francis Malinois wiped him off the planet, and Ruben Bain took that game personal. I'm just hoping now one of these Ohio State suckers comes out and talks trash about Mesidor Bain and has to see this pain coming up on January or December 31st.
Is one college football playoff win enough to put the Malachi Toney, to put the Ruben Bain now on the pedestal in that conversation with some of the greatest Hurricanes players of all times? Because I remember we talked about this at the beginning of the season when they were playing out of their minds. And I believe you said, we'll see, right? Like, we'll see what type of success ends up happening this season. One college football playoff win, first ever in program history, because of those two, they had a large part in it. I would imagine it catapults them at the very least into the conversation, John.
Yeah, Solana, I think Bain is already there as one of the greats all time. And this is 3 years now of work. And what Malachi Toney's done this freshman year is second now. He's the greatest. I had a conversation with somebody. Is he the greatest freshman, not redshirt freshman, but true freshman in the history of Miami? And my answer is yes, because his impact on the game, I don't know that Miami's as far as they are right now. As a matter of fact, I know they're not as far as they are without Malachi Toney. But as far as putting them into that echelon of Andre Johnson, who was on the sideline, or Michael Irvin, who was all over the field and up in the stands and grabbing trash cans and everything else, you got to go further. And Crowder, this conversation is great for you. My wife and I shower together every day. It's kind of our get away from the kids, sit down, and
Really?
we actually, every day. We have a every day. We have a like that's our real talk time in the shower. Just whatever. And she looked at me Saturday morning as she was getting ready to go to a company party, and she goes, babe, no matter what happens today, you should be happy it's a great season. I looked at her and I go, no, the hell I ain't. I said, we're here to win a national title. You're in the dance now. Yes, look back. We look in April and Miami loses and doesn't win the national title. Yeah, it's going to be a really good season. It's not great until we put on ring number 6. And I told her, I said, you damn right I'm going to be disappointed if we lose a game. Are those kids fantastic? Yes. I wish we had Ruben Bain for 10 more years, but you got to still go win a national title. And I guarantee if you ask Coach Cristobal the same thing, he'll say there's more steps in front of them that need to be accomplished.
Every day.
Every day.
And all those showers don't end in conversation, John.
But that's the thing, like, because I'll shower with my wife, but it's never just a conversation. There's like, you're telling me every day, because how can I get in the shower with her if it's not going to end the way that I want it to end?
Look, sometimes when we both have jobs and we're moving around, that's the only time you get to spend together. So and you don't want to have the kids. We've got teenage kids. They want to hear everything. Like if we're having a conversation at the dinner table,
But I'm saying you can shower with your wife and it doesn't end up in sex.
Yeah. Not every time.
I don't think I'm capable of that.
Well, maybe I have self-control. I don't know.
But we got to go deeper into this. I want to talk Canes, but you're not going to get any hot water because they steal all the hot water. So now I'm back there in the back of the shower freezing my butt off, and you want to talk about the Canes if they win or not win. I'm freaking freezing, bro. Can I get some soap too?
So we've got one of those big rain showers. So I'll get a trickling like down my left shoulder, which is just enough to keep me warm. But yeah, look, she wanted to talk Canes football. We could talk Canes football in the shower when I'm on the crapper. It doesn't matter. If we're talking Miami, let's get it done.
This is wild to me, though, because Crowder's right. When you shower with someone else, there's a reason you put up with it. You put up with not getting the hot water all the time or whatever because the payoff is there at the end.
Right.
If the payoff is a genuine conversation about college football, then I'm out. I'll stand on the other side of the glass.
Text me in the truck.
Look,
That's crazy.
Some would say the payoff. Look at my wife. She looks way too good for me. So some would say the payoff is I just get the looks. So
right.
I'm okay with that. It's like going to Tootsie's without.
But I'm not going to just stand there and look. I got shampoos all over the place. I've got liquid soaps. I mean, what's happening here?
We got action. We got action.
I know which shampoos are too minty and tingly. I know everything that's going on, but then if we walk into the shower together, it ain't for a talk.
I knew that comment was going to derail the conversation, and without
that is wild, though. That's why I do find that fascinating.
They do on my show as well. Anytime I brought that up, they go, "You do what?" And I go, "Yeah, it's our real conversation time." And this is why I love my wife. The fact that she brought up the college football playoffs while we're standing there butt naked. I know I married the right person.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, my wife would know in that situation where we're both in the shower, I'm going to say anything that she wants to hit. Like, it's the worst time to have a conversation because my head's elsewhere. Say whatever you want. Like, I'll sign off on moving to Australia at that moment. Like, whatever. Let's just finish the business. Yeah, my wife would say the absolute worst conversations we've ever had in the 28 years we've been married have taken place in the shower. Moving on. Oh, I was going to let you ask the question, Crowder.
Oh, no. I was going to say, so what leading into Ohio State, mm-hmm. We as Canes fans, you see I throw the we in there, big capital U, big capital W, big capital E. But the confidence there, they are a great team. We talked about it before where like Indiana beat them, but I think that game could have been either way. Like I think this is the biggest dog that the Canes will have to see if they do move forward. How do you see this game really playing out?
It better be the same way you did. You're going to have to win with your defensive front because what Ohio State wants you to do is have to blitz and have to send extra guys. And then you get Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis and Bo Jackson. You get them in one-on-one situations. I'll be honest, I think Miami's defensive backs have to tackle better than they did against Texas A&M. There was some leaky yard, not a lot, but there were times where that first defender missed on the little bubble, and instead of it being a 1-yard play, it ends up being a 7-yard play. That's not going to work against Ohio State, and you're going to have to find a way to throw the football. You throw for 100 yards against Ohio State, you probably lose the game 20-10 or somewhere along those lines. Carson Beck was built for these moments. We've seen him in games at Georgia where they trusted him and they got back there and threw it. The good thing, there's not going to be any wind. You're going to be inside a dome. It's a beautiful stadium. All the elements are going to be perfect there for you. And I think with Ohio State, when I watched them against Indiana, their offensive line isn't great. Indiana's defensive line beat the hell out of Ohio State. They made Julian Sayin get hit for the first time ever. Indiana also ran the ball over 100 yards. I think Miami's got to get it in the 150 range running it, probably around 200 to 250 throwing the football, and you got to win the turnover battle again. I think Ohio State's beatable, and this whole thing with Brian Hartline being gone and Ryan Day announcing today that he's taking over play calling, it's fascinating to me that he's now going to have to double dip for the first time in a couple of years, and I want to see how that all looks.
Man, you sound confident, man. I like what John is spouting off here. I mean, you sound confident. It sounds like you think 10 is too big a spread on this game.
100%. I would take it money line, but that's because I'm a cocky Canes fan. The hell do I look like? I don't need no damn points at Hard Rock Bet. Just give me money line. That's all I want. Look, This to me might be the toughest game left. And this is apologies to Georgia, who I think Kirby Smart's got his team peaking at the right time. I think they're fantastic. But I think if you can get through Ohio State, a national title becomes a real serious conversation for the University of Miami. And Mario Cristobal has built it for this year. You've got Mark Fletcher, who, by the way, is one of the great kids that's ever stepped on campus at Miami. Carson Beck, 6th year. You want to talk about redemption? You're wearing Ken Dorsey's number. You're wearing number 11, and you get some get back for the biggest robbery in the history of college football, what happened 20-some-odd years ago. Solana was texting me during the break. He's partially right. The Larry Coker hire did take you downhill. But what changed the perception of Miami was Terry Porter. I think he just threw the flag 5 minutes ago. And the fact that clown got in a Hall of Fame anywhere.
Hall of Fame. Officiating Hall of Fame.
It lets you know there's too many damn Hall of Fames going on right now. Why is that guy in a Hall of Fame for anything? And you're right. They're going to show that stupid replay 75,000 times. So for Cardell Jones and for Craig Krenzel and Maurice Claret, and I know Michael Jenkins really well up here, and for all of you that stole a national title, payback's a bitch, and it's coming on New Year's Eve.
Look at that. Terry Porter should be in the Hall of Fame of bad calls.
Is there
a Hall of Fame of bad calls? Terry Porter's a unanimous inductee.
He's right there with Tim Donaghy. He's there with Scott Foster, the extender. I know Solana knows all about Scott Foster. He's right there with that dude. Whatever the hell happened in Detroit.
The replacement refs, that Seattle Monday night game.
Oh, my goodness. If that dude ran out on the field, you might have 5,000 Canes fans jump down there and punch him right in the throat. He's number one on my most hated list, and I've never met this dude a day in my life.
Guy changed everything, man. Terry Porter. All right, John Michaels, 680 The Fan in Atlanta. Follow him on Twitter at John Michaels U. The letter U. Man, I loved your confidence, John.
Go shower with your wives tonight.
I tell you what, I wonder, that's is that like a sign to her that, hey, I don't just see you as a naked female body, even when you have no clothes on. I'm still attracted to your mind and want to have conversations, because it's a great statement to make. I'm physically incapable of making that statement. I just don't. I can pretend that I'm going to be that guy, and it's always going to end the same way that
it's the opposite, Hawk. I'm not sexy anymore. We're both naked. We are soapy. Why wouldn't you? It's the opposite.
No, I think it's the opposite of what you're saying. I think it's like she's like super impressed. Like, wow, I can stand here, no clothes on, but yet he still just wants to talk to me about Bills and college football and life in general. It's not. He doesn't just want sex. I think it's genius if you can do it, but.
We could try to make a life. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Fascinating.
You learn something new about me every time I come on this show.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to talk to you the same way. I mean, you have more willpower than anyone I've ever met.
Maybe next time I'll do the show with no shirt on so you can see why maybe she's not attracted to me.
No, I know from her angle why it's easy. And I know from my wife's angle why it's very, very easy. All right, we'll see you, John. There you go. That's a college football breakdown that you won't get anywhere else. We'll have to ask others this week as we preview Miami and Ohio State, their spousal showering habits. Crazy.